there it is. There it is. It has happened. You see it. The verdict has been reached. Jonathan Majors found guilty of, can I even say the word? Sure, whatever. Assault and harassment. Yeah. Is it as bad as you would think? Let's discuss. What's going on, y'all? Your boy Darius back again for the video, and yep, you can see it right there. Jonathan Majors has indeed been found guilty of assault and harassment. The verdict was reached Monday by a 6-person jury after over 4 hours of deliberation spread across 3 days. He will be sentenced on February 6th. Now, it's important to go through this and examine exactly what he was found guilty of. It's a lot more complicated than you would think at first glance just reading a headline. But before we jump into the video, though, do me a huge favor, man. Click that subscribe button, man. I'm trying to rise my subscriber count here, man. I've already reached my 300 goal thanks to you guys. Let's keep the train moving, man. I'm trying to get up there to 400. That's the next goal, man. So subscribe, like the video, run up the likes, do all that good YouTube algorithm stuff. And, of course, leave your comments down below what you think of this whole situation. Now, this whole thing, hold on, let me get up. Let me get up in here in the corner. Yeah. This whole thing is interesting because he was, well, let's see if they discussed it in this article, right? So this is from Hollywood Reporter, who, never mind, that's a different thing. Let's not talk about that. A New York jury found Marvel actor Jonathan Majors guilty of reckless assault in the 3rd degree and guilty of harassment. The verdict was reached by a 6-person jury after roughly over 4 hours of deliberation spread across 3 days. Jonathan Majors, wearing a gray suit and black dress shirt and tie, sat with his attorneys, with family members, and his girlfriend, Megan Good, behind him as the verdict was read. Sentencing set for February 6th. The charges carry a sentence of up to 1 year in prison. On 2 other charges, he was not found guilty of intentional assault in the 3rd degree and not guilty of aggravated harassment in 2nd degree. Okay. There it is, right? He was found not guilty of intentional assault, which means that it was the jury believes that whatever happened in the car with him attacking her was not intentional. That's what that is saying right there. It wasn't intentional. It was like more reckless. It was more unintentional. He didn't mean to hit her, but he did hit her. That's what they're saying. So it's not as bad as one would think, right? And then not guilty of aggravated harassment in 2nd degree. Okay. That, of course, stemming from him picking her up and putting her inside pushing her inside the car and then, sprinting away. But like the act of him picking her up and forcing her into that car is the harassment charge. It's not aggravated. It's just regular harassment, which I don't know the difference. You know what, man? Let's just do it in real time. Let me just, what is aggravated? What is aggravated harassment second degree? What is that? Threaten or alarm another person, he or she intentionally and repeatedly harasses another person by following such person in or about a public places, or by engaging in course of conduct, or by repeatedly committing acts which place such person in reasonable fear of physical injury. So if she thought that she was going to be hurt by him, with him pushing her in the car, that's the aggravated. But he didn't get aggravated. So what is just regular harassment? Harassment in the 2nd degree is a violation. Most New York violation charges will result in time served sentence, which is oftentimes no jail time at all, or just the time spent in her. Okay, so yeah, see, it's like really, really, really minor stuff there. So he got the most minor. He got the minor version of harassment, which is a violation, and then unintentional assault. Okay, in total, Majors faced 4 charges of assault, aggravated harassment, and harassment after he called 911 on March 25th when he said he found his ex-partner, Grace Jabari, unconscious in their apartment. Police arrested Majors after finding apparent injuries on Jabari, including a laceration behind her ear and a bruise and fractured finger. Majors pleaded not guilty to all charges. Interesting. Yeah, Jabari took the witness stand for the first 4 days of the trial. Yeah, that's all stuff we know already. So here, the first 3 charges are misdemeanor offenses and related to the alleged incidents in the car. The 4th charge of harassment, which is a violation, the most minor offense among the charges, relates to an allegation that Majors threw Jabari back into the car as she tried to exit. The defense argued that he placed her back in the car to stop her from running into traffic. That action is captured on a surveillance video, while the altercation inside the car was not captured on camera. So, let's see. The case was a criminal trial as opposed to civil, meaning the burden of proof is higher for the jury, who had to find proof of guilt beyond a reasonable doubt on each charge. In the statement after the verdict, Ross Kramer, an attorney for Jabari, said they hope the guilty verdict inspires other victims of assault. We are gratified to see justice served by today's guilty verdict. Ms. Jabari testified publicly and truthfully, even though reliving these traumatic events on the witness stand was obviously painful. We're grateful to the jurors and the judge for their attention and patience, and to the Manhattan District Attorney's Office for their hard work and support. Ms. Jabari's resolve to see this case through to the end demonstrates her tremendous strength and resilience. Unfortunately, for every survivor like Ms. Jabari who comes forward to hold their abuser accountable, there are many others who believe they cannot. We hope her actions will inspire other survivors to speak their truth and seek justice. Okay, this whole spiel, right? I'm just kind of like, wait a minute. Because, well, as they say right here, during the trial, prosecutors approached this as a case of DV, and the defense called her credibility into question, right? But they're framing this as like, this is just this big DV case. You know, she comes forward to hold her abuser accountable. And I'm just like, wait, but they didn't find him intentionally. Like, he didn't, you see, I'm having a malfunction here. It's just like, wait a minute. The jury basically said, unless I need to search this up, what is reckless assault in the 3rd degree? What is that? Under our law, a person is guilty of assault in the 3rd degree when the person recklessly causes physical injury to another person. So, like, reckless. What does reckless mean? Right? Well, we do know he wasn't found guilty of the intentional version. So reckless, you need to consult the dictionary. I mean, I know what reckless is. I know, like, reckless, without thinking or caring what the consequences of an action. So, like, he just kind of, it just kind of happened. It wasn't like an intentional thing. It's just like, I don't really think this stuff is all that, like, cut and dry, as they're saying, oh yeah, we're grateful, I'm sure that was a traumatic experience and all that, but like, the prosecution tried to paint him as like this big monster of a person, but clearly the jury didn't see it that way, even with the text messages which were not great, the audio stuff, which also not great at all. I don't know, man. That's kind of crazy. A lot of this is just recapping everything that happened here. Let's see. After the verdict was reached, Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg weighed in. At the Manhattan DA's office, we are committed to centering survivors in all of our work. The evidence presented throughout this trial has illustrated a cycle of psychological and emotional abuse and escalating patterns of coercion far too common across the many intimate partner violent cases we see each and every day. Today, the jury determined that pattern of abuse and coercion culminated with him assaulting and harassing his girlfriend. We thank the jury for its service and the survivor for bravely telling her story despite having to relive her trauma on the stand. See, that's the. Is this true though? Is this true? If you're a lawyer, in the comments, let me know. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is this? I don't know if that's what that means, but they're spinning it that way. Certainly. Yeah, he got the least major, no pun intended, of the two. It's just, I don't know. That just seems like they're just spinning that. But I mean, it's not to say that it's not serious. It is. I mean, like, even unintentionally, you gotta like not hurt people. Like I imagine what this would say or signal is that in that car when they were fighting over the phone or whatever the hell, he did hit her. But it was just like give it a fuck. I don't know. But it's just like, it doesn't seem all that bad. I don't know about you. It just doesn't seem that bad. It's his career. Is his career in jeopardy? That's the question. I don't know, man. He's gonna be sentenced in February. He faces up to a year. I don't even know if he'll even get a year because like the one is a violation, right? He might get like 6 months, maybe 4. I don't know. I feel like this, apart from just getting a completely innocent, obviously you would expect, if you're on his side, get a completely innocent verdict. But of what he could have gotten, Marvel's definitely going to move on. Let me get that out of the way. Marvel's definitely going to move on. They are going to move on anyway because this is bad press. They were waiting to see what happened at the end. This is always going to hang over him. Certain people are not going to let this go. Certain people, even if it's not as bad as it could have been, people are not going to let this go. This is always going to be there, right? I think Marvel's just going to be like, well, we pretty much wrapped everything up with Kang in Loki season 2, right? Like, they kind of left it off where the TVA are just searching for Kang variants. They're dealing with that over there. Maybe, who knows? Maybe, it's 2023 right now. Secret Wars is coming out in, 2027, I think, at this point. It's got so many delays and stuff. Maybe by the time of a Secret Wars, all this will have been left behind, and they'll bring him back in as Kang for that. But taking his place as the immediate bad guy of the Multiverse Saga will be Doom. I think that's what's going to happen. They're not going to recast him. I think they're just going to be like, yep, you're over there. Stay over there. Doom is the guy now. Maybe, give it 4 years. We'll bring you in, and you can show up for the big bad, for the big climactic event, and you can have an appearance there to kind of tie up everything there. But for now, over there, out of sight, out of mind. That's kind of how I think Marvel's going to deal with it. His career as a whole, I've seen people come back from worse, whether rightly or wrongly. So, yeah. That's my thoughts on this whole thing. You guys let me know what you think about this. What do you think of the verdict? What do you think about his career, where his career is headed? Let me know all that stuff down in the comments down below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.